Have you ever caught yourself gripping the stair railing just a little tighter than you used to? Or maybe you've hesitated before stepping off a curb, unsure if your legs would fully support you. It's subtle at first, until one day, you find yourself wondering, why do I feel more fragile than I used to? The truth is, after 65, your bones begin speaking to you. Not with loud pain, but with whispers, little reminders that strength isn't something we can take for granted. And if you ignore those whispers, they turn into breaks, fractures, falls. But here's the good news. You have more control over your bone health than you think. Let me share a story about Irene, a 78-year-old woman living in Colorado. She's active, joyful, and sharp as ever, but 2 years ago, a simple fall while putting away groceries led to a fractured wrist. That single moment shattered more than her bone, it shook her confidence. She stopped walking as much, stopped gardening, even stopped playing with her great-grandson on the floor. I didn't realize how quickly one fall could change everything, she told me. But instead of giving in to fear, she made a decision to rebuild. Not just her bone, but her habits. And she started with the 4 things we'll begin exploring today. For daily habits that anyone over 65 can adopt to keep their bones strong, their spine upright, and their body free to move with confidence. Because here's what many people don't realize. Bone loss doesn't have to be inevitable. Yes, our bones naturally lose density with age, especially after menopause. But the real danger comes when we stop giving them what they need: movement, nutrients, protection, and care. So let's start with the first habit, the foundation of it all. Weight-bearing movement. Your bones are living tissue. And just like your muscles, they respond to stress. That means when you walk, stand, climb stairs, or carry groceries, your bones get the message. Stay strong. She still needs us. In contrast, when you sit for long periods, on the couch, in the car, in front of the TV, your bones begin to soften. They assume you don't need them as much. And over time, that leads to osteoporosis, poor posture, and a dramatically increased risk of fractures. What kind of movement helps the most? Walking is a great start. So is stair climbing, dancing, gardening, even light resistance training using your own body weight or light dumbbells. The key isn't intensity, it's consistency. Your bones love rhythm. They thrive when you move them daily. And no, you're not too old to start. In fact, studies from Harvard and the National Osteoporosis Foundation have found that even seniors in their 80s, who start weight-bearing movement just 3 times a week, can increase bone density and reduce their risk of falls by up to 50%. Take Eugene, 81, who began walking loops around his apartment building twice a day. After 3 months, he stood taller, moved faster, and said something that stuck with me. I don't feel like I'm getting older, I feel like I'm waking back up. And that's what movement does. It wakes your body up. It reminds your bones that they still matter. Now let's talk about the second daily habit. Calcium-rich nutrition, done right. You've probably heard your whole life that calcium builds strong bones. And it's true, but there's a twist that most people miss. It's not just about getting calcium, it's about helping your body absorb and use it. Many seniors drink milk or take calcium supplements and think that's enough. But the body doesn't work that simply. Calcium needs co-pilots, especially vitamin D, magnesium, and vitamin K2, to get where it needs to go. Into your bones. Without enough vitamin D, your body can't absorb calcium effectively. Without magnesium, your muscles and bones don't communicate properly. And without K2, calcium might settle in your arteries instead of your bones, a risk no one talks about enough. So what should you eat? Start with dark leafy greens like kale, bok choy, and spinach. Add almonds, sardines, with bones, plain yogurt, and chia seeds. These are all calcium-rich and packed with other nutrients your bones crave. Add sunlight for vitamin D, or talk to your doctor about a supplement, especially in winter months. And don't forget fermented foods like sauerkraut or natto. They're rich in vitamin K2, which guides calcium straight into your skeletal system where it belongs. Irene, the woman I mentioned earlier, started her mornings with a green smoothie, spinach, almond milk, chia seeds, and a touch of banana. She added a vitamin D supplement after breakfast and made sure to take a short walk outside daily for sunlight. She wasn't just eating well. She was feeding her freedom. Because when your bones are nourished, you feel nourished. More balanced. More alive. And let me say this. There's a reason so many seniors feel tired, stiff, and slouched. It's not just age. It's underfed bones and underused muscles. But the fix? It's in your hands. And it starts with these small daily choices. So, let's pause here and reflect. Are you moving enough each day to remind your bones they still have a job to do? Are you giving them not just calcium, but the support they need to build strength? You don't need to overhaul your life. Just begin. A few steps. A few food swaps. A glass of water with chia seeds. A walk around the block with a neighbor. Your body is always listening. And your bones? They're ready to respond. If this inspired you in any way, please click like and subscribe to Elderly Reflections, a place where senior health, quotes, life lessons, and motivation come together to help you live fully at any age. And tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? What are your favorite ways to keep moving? Sometimes, strength isn't measured by how much you can lift, it's measured by how confidently you can stand. By how steadily you can walk into a room, or how securely you can reach for something on the top shelf. That kind of quiet strength is what we're protecting when we talk about bone health after 65. It's not just about avoiding fractures, it's about preserving freedom. In part 1, we explored 2 of the most powerful habits for keeping your bones resilient: weight-bearing movement and smart, calcium-rich nutrition supported by key cofactors like vitamin D, magnesium, and K2. But now it's time to go deeper. Because bones, like all living parts of the body, respond not just to what we do, but also to what we don't do. And that brings us to the 3rd daily habit. Avoiding bone thieves. Yes, there are foods, medications, and lifestyle choices that literally steal from your bones. Quietly. Daily. Until one day, you reach for something, twist the wrong way, and everything changes. But once you know what these bone thieves are, you can start guarding yourself against them, without giving up the joy of living. Let's start with a familiar one. Excess sodium. You might not think about salt as a problem, especially if you're not shaking it on your food. But the hidden salt, found in processed foods like deli meats, canned soups, fast food, crackers, and even healthy frozen meals, pulls calcium out of your bones through your urine. Over time, that daily loss adds up. Then there's sugar, another quiet saboteur. It increases inflammation, spikes insulin, and interferes with calcium absorption. Not to mention, it reduces the body's production of osteocalcin, a hormone that helps build new bone. Caffeine and alcohol, when consumed in large amounts, also contribute to calcium loss and weaken your balance and coordination, making falls more likely. Now, this doesn't mean you need to give up everything you love. Enjoy a cup of coffee in the morning. Sip a glass of wine on special occasions. But be mindful. Swap out processed snacks for fresh fruit. Choose low-sodium options at the store. Flavor your meals with herbs and lemon instead of reaching for the salt shaker. And just as important as what you eat, is what you ask your doctor about. Certain medications, like corticosteroids, acid reflux drugs, thyroid medications, and even some antidepressants, can interfere with bone density over time. That doesn't mean you should stop taking them. But it does mean your doctor should know you're concerned about your bones. There may be alternatives or added supplements to help offset the risk. Let me tell you about Linda, 69, from Arizona. She had been taking a common heartburn medication for over 10 years. One day, she slipped in the kitchen and fractured her hip. During recovery, her doctor explained that her medication had reduced her stomach acid, and with it, her ability to absorb calcium. No one had ever told her that before. After switching to a different treatment and adjusting her diet, she began walking again, stronger, smarter, and more aware. Her story is a reminder. Information is prevention. And knowledge is power, especially when it comes to guarding what keeps you standing tall. Now let's move on to the fourth daily habit. Posture and alignment practices. You may not think of posture as a bone health issue, but it absolutely is. Poor posture over time leads to spinal misalignment, weakens your core, compresses your vertebrae, and makes you more likely to fall. Slouching becomes shrinking. And shrinking increases pressure on already fragile bones. But here's the encouraging part: posture is trainable. Even at 70, 80, or beyond, you can retrain your body to stand upright, move with more grace, and protect your spine with every step. And it starts with awareness. Throughout the day, check in with yourself. Are your shoulders hunched forward? Is your head tilted down toward a screen? Are you leaning on one side more than the other when standing? Now imagine a string pulling gently from the top of your head. Your shoulders relax back. Your spine lengthens. Your ribcage lifts just slightly. Your weight centers evenly on both feet. That single image can change everything in how you move. Incorporating simple posture exercises into your daily routine takes just minutes. Wall posture resets. Stand with your back against a wall, heels touching, shoulders back, and the back of your head gently pressed. Hold for 30 seconds and breathe deeply. Chin tucks, sit upright and gently pull your chin back, creating a double chin. Hold and release. This strengthens your neck and upper spine. Shoulder blade squeezes. Sit or stand, and pull your shoulder blades back and down as if pinching a pencil between them. These small movements signal your spine: we're still standing tall. Don't fold in. And don't forget your feet, they are your foundation. Wear supportive shoes, especially indoors. Avoid slippers without structure or worn-out soles. If your feet aren't stable, your posture will never be. Let me introduce you to Thomas, 82, from Wales. He used to walk with a forward lean and felt unsteady on uneven ground. After working with a physical therapist on posture and foot stability, he started doing daily alignment exercises and changed to more supportive footwear. "I feel taller now," he said, laughing. "And my back doesn't bark at me every time I stand up." Thomas didn't just improve his posture. He reconnected with confidence, one quiet adjustment at a time. So here we are, with 4 habits unfolding. First, weight-bearing movement that speaks life into your bones. Second, nutritional support that feeds not just calcium, but the team of nutrients that carry it. Third, guarding against bone thieves, those sneaky lifestyle choices that steal your strength. Fourth, and daily posture practices that remind your body you were made to stand tall. And here's what ties them all together: consistency over intensity. You don't need to do everything at once. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. Your bones are alive. They're listening. They respond to care, attention, and even late-blooming discipline. Because strong bones aren't about looking young. They're about feeling capable. About standing in your kitchen, walking in your garden, playing with your grandchildren, and knowing that your body still carries you with grace and stability. If this message resonated with you, please like this video and subscribe to Elderly Reflections, your community for senior health, quotes, motivation, and life lessons that remind us aging isn't about slowing down. It's about tuning in. Tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? And what's one small change you're ready to make for your bone health? There's something deeply empowering about standing tall, not just physically, but emotionally. That quiet confidence that comes from knowing your body is strong enough to carry you through the day. That your legs won't give out, your spine won't fold, your balance won't betray you. Because when your bones are supported, you move through the world with a sense of freedom that's worth more than gold. In parts 1 and 2, we uncovered 4 daily habits that build and protect that freedom. Weight-bearing movement, bone supportive nutrition, avoiding the silent bone thieves, and daily posture practices. But in this final part, let's look at what holds all of it together, not just the science, but the soul. Because bone health isn't just about avoiding fractures, it's about living fully. And living fully, especially after 65, requires one more powerful shift: believing in your body again. Let's begin with something few people talk about: fear of falling. It's real. And it's paralyzing. After 65, many seniors start to internalize the fear that one wrong step could lead to a fall. And with that fear comes hesitation, moving less, sitting more, avoiding stairs, skipping outings. Ironically, that fear leads to the very thing you're trying to avoid: weaker bones, stiffer joints, and unsteadier steps. But here's the truth. Confidence is built through action, not waiting. Every time you practice your balance, every time you strengthen your legs, every time you nourish your bones, you're sending a message to your brain: I trust you. I've got this. Let me share the story of Adeline, 77, who used to avoid walking outdoors after slipping on a wet sidewalk. Her daughter gifted her a set of walking poles, lightweight, adjustable, and designed to help with balance. At first, Adeline resisted. "People will think I look old," she said. But slowly, she started using them on short walks around the neighborhood. A few weeks later, her entire posture changed. Her back was straighter, her steps more confident. "I don't care what anyone thinks anymore," she laughed. "I'm out here, and I'm moving." That's what this journey is really about. Not just stronger bones, but braver living. And now let's talk about something equally important: connection. Yes, believe it or not, your relationships affect your bone health. Studies have shown that seniors who feel isolated or lonely are at a higher risk of fractures and falls. Why? Because loneliness increases cortisol, the stress hormone that depletes calcium and weakens bones over time. It also leads to depression, poor eating habits, lack of movement, and disturbed sleep, all enemies of strong bones. In contrast, being part of a community, whether it's a walking group, a church, a hobby club, or even this very elderly Reflections family, can protect your body at a cellular level. When you feel seen, supported, and valued, your brain produces hormones like oxytocin that reduce inflammation, regulate calcium, and improve balance. Take Philip, 80, who joined a senior yoga class not for exercise, but for the company. He hadn't had consistent social interaction in years. Within 3 months, not only did his posture improve, so did his energy, his appetite, and his entire outlook on life. "I thought I needed medicine," he said. "Turns out, I just needed people." You were never meant to do this alone. That's why I encourage you, right now, to reach out. Invite someone to go for a walk. Call an old friend. Join a community center. Or simply leave a comment below this video, sharing where you're watching from. That connection, that voice, it matters more than you know. Now, as we begin to close, I want to remind you, your bones are not fragile. They're alive, responsive, and ready. No matter your age, no matter your history, your body is always looking for ways to adapt, to rebuild, to grow stronger. It doesn't need punishment, it needs partnership. It doesn't need perfection, it needs consistency. You don't have to overhaul your life. You don't need fancy equipment or expensive supplements. You just need these 4 habits, repeated daily, in your own way. First, move, walk, climb, lift, stretch. Remind your bones they're still needed. Second, nourish, feed them with calcium, D, K2, magnesium, and real food. Third, protect, avoid the foods and habits that rob your bones of strength. Fourth, align, practice posture, core strength, and balance with intention. And perhaps a 5th, unspoken habit that underlies them all, honoring your body with hope, not fear. Because fear shrinks you. But hope lifts your chin, straightens your spine, lets you walk into each new day with curiosity instead of hesitation. So I ask you, what's one thing you can do today to love your bones? Is it a walk around the block? A handful of almonds instead of cookies? Reaching for that dusty pair of dumbbells again? Drinking that glass of water with lemon? Standing tall at the sink instead of hunching? These moments matter. They accumulate. They become your new strength story. If this journey has encouraged you, please like this video and subscribe to Elderly Reflections. We're building a place where senior health, life lessons, quotes, and motivation come together to celebrate aging, not as decline, but as a new chapter of strength. Tell me in the comments, where are you from, and what habit are you committing to this week? Let's support each other. Let's keep growing. Let's keep walking tall. You've got this. And your bones? They're listening.